This is going to be your Monday math assignment. So in class, we've been learning the distributive property of multiplication. And when I look at the distributive property, we often call this the break apart property. So I'm going to write that word up here. So we often call it the break apart strategy because we take a factor and decompose, which means to break it apart into two different numbers, so it's easier for us to solve a multiplication equation. So like in class, today is just a review of the distributive property. I'm going to do one example with you, and then you're going to do the other examples by yourself. We have the multiplication equation 3 times 7. When I look at 3 times 7, I can decompose or break apart one of those factors into numbers that I already know the multiplication fact. You cannot break apart both factors, it's just one. The factor I'm choosing to break apart today is 3. I'm going to break apart the 3 into 2 and 1. The reason I'm going to break it apart into 2 and 1 is because I know my 2 multiplication facts, and I know that with my 1s, it's just the same number that I'm multiplying it by because of the identity property. So I've decomposed 3 into 2 and 1. So now I've got to type in my new equations, okay? Because 2 plus 1 is 3. So my first multiplication equation I'm going to have is 2 times 7. You see you have the 2 times 7. The 7 factor does not change, so I have 2 times 7 plus I also have my 1 that I've broken apart here. So it's going to be 1 times 7. So what I've done here is 7, I've not done anything to 7. It stays the same. I've decomposed and broken apart 3 into 2 and 1, so it's easier for me to solve this multiplication equation. So now I need to take and I need to multiply these two equations and add them together because 2 times 7 plus 1 times 7 is the same as 3 times 7. So I ask myself, what's 2 times 7? You can either skip count by 2s, or you should already know that it's 14 automatically. And then you have 1 times 7, and you know that 1 times 7 is just going to be 7 because of the identity property. So you've taken 2 times 7, which is 14, plus 1 times 7, which is 7. Now you need to add 14 plus 7. So what's 14 plus 7? You can count on. That's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So what's the answer to 3 times 7? The product of 3 times 7 is 21. And you solve that today by decomposing and breaking apart that 3 into 2 and 1. I want you to finish up, and I want you to do these other problems by using the distributive property. I want you to solve them by using the distributive property. Don't just give me the answer, okay? And then submit your assignment.